Hey everybody, welcome back to our neck of the woods. So question is, did the poison control work? I don't know, let's find out. So I didn't get it on film that poison control came over. I was in the house doing something because they were running a little bit late, and then when he came out here, the weather was getting really poor. It actually rained for a little bit before and after, and then we've just been dealing with that for the past like week and a half now. As you can see, it looks like it's just a nice sunny day, but in the forecast, every time that just says that there's going to be lightning and thunderstorms, they roll in, roll out. So the yard still looks like crap. But at least I got out here long enough to talk to him, and the game plan was he was going to check all the big trees. Like I saw some ants around this pile of wood and that tree over there. So all the big trees he pretty much baited around there, and then he sprayed the RV down, the house down real good, made sure the poison went all over this front half of the house on the gemstone, and up where I saw a little crack in the where that piece of trim isn't sitting flush against the LP 4x8s. I got to put some caulking up in there, but they were using that as kind of an entrance and exit after I had caulked this corner over here. So he sprayed up in there, and the good thing is, as far as I can tell, the poison is actually a poison and not a kind of just deterrent. If you look down in here, you can see, actually, I mean, there's just dead bodies everywhere. We've got a big spider there, 2 daddy longlegs, a cricket, looks like a lightning bug, another dead spider, another dead daddy longleg, another dead daddy longleg. So yeah, whatever that stuff is, an insect gets near this and they just die. And I have not seen any carpenter ants. Not that I think I really would anyway, because I had just been killing them for a week straight. So looks like the game plan is we're just gonna have to get back into a routine with them. And the price definitely went up. Before, we were only paying for the RV and the shed also. And I can't remember, I think it was like $30 or $40 a month, but now it's jumped up to $59 a month. Now, when you do the math, they want $350 per spray. So within 2 sprays, you're already at $700, and at $59 a month for an entire year, you're only up to $708. And in that $59 a month, they give us 4 sprays a year. So that's, you're well under at $1,400. You're well under that, paying only $708 for the entire year. So it makes more sense just to do that. Not something that I want to do, but like I've said to a few of you on YouTube in the comment section, we really don't have a choice. I mean, we're never going to be able to keep all of the termites away and the carpenter ants and everything else that's out here. And yeah, it's sad to see like spiders die, because I've seen daddy longlegs start attacking some of the dead carpenter ants' bodies, so they clearly like to eat them. I don't think they attack them too much, because a carpenter ant's pretty mean. I think it would probably actually win against a daddy longleg, but we're kind of keeping the good bugs and the bad bugs away, so it is what it is. But at least I can say for right now, for the past 2 days, that it is 100% working, and it's just what we have to do. And if I didn't mention before, I had them also hit the shed, because it's been a while since I built this, and it was kind of before I knew everything, or as much as I do now. And I built this shed on treated 4x6s. So there's one over in the corner, one in the middle, and one over on that end. But then I went with traditional lumber and sat them on the 4x6s. So those 4x6s, I think code says you have to use treated lumber within 18 inches of the ground. Well, those non-treated boards are only 3.5 inches from the ground. We do have a raccoon problem. As you can see, they like to put in massive holes here that I'm gonna have to fix one day and keep packing stone in there. But at least with those holes there, that gave him access to turn the pressure all the way up on the sprayer and just soak the underside of that. And because underneath there never hits weather, it's a pretty good possibility that that poison stays in there much longer than on the side of the house. So at least since I know that poison is a killer, any carpenter ants or termites under there trying to get into our non-treated 2x8 floor joists, they're dead now. And then two more updates real quick. First off, I had our cable guy come out. He ran a new line from the pole, which we still have to get buried. I did call somebody out here to bury this line, and they came out twice, but they refused to bury it because they and the well drillers have called the 1-800, you know, call before you dig. And again, no one is showing up. So I don't know what that 1-800 number is, but apparently no one works for them anymore because no one comes out here and will do it. And because they won't do it, the cable guy will not bury the line. The well guy didn't have a problem because I made sure in confidence that there was nothing that he was going to hit because I showed him where the electric was. But unfortunately for a company that works for the cable company, they're just not willing to do that. So I may have to end up burying this line myself. I'll probably put like an attachment or something on the back of my tractor. Put my category 1 or 3 or whatever that is on the back of my tractor down into the ground and like scrape along. As long as I can get several inches down into the ground, then I should be fine to go ahead and lay this in. And I can't remember if I mentioned this or not, but we punched through the wall up there, as you can see, and it was extremely easy to punch through the wall. Why? Well, because when I was building the office months ago, I noticed that there is a huge air gap in my ICF. The concrete did not consolidate all the way. Now, I talked to a few ICF people, and the conclusion is having an air gap in your ICF where it didn't consolidate isn't the worst thing in the world, especially kind of in that area. Because if we think about it, imagine that that air gap was a garage door opening. Where that air gap is, I still have a full block of ICF and then some, a few inches, that the concrete is consolidated, plus all the rebar in there. So imagine that that air gap that we have basically is just a header. So if you look right up in here, I kind of drew a line. Right here is a line coming down through there, and there's a black line up in there, which is, like I said, it's a few inches below that first block. So we've got roughly a 20-inch header there where we then have an air gap. So again, if this was a garage or over top of that door right now, well, that door's got about 18, maybe 27 inches above that door and pretty much all of the windows. So obviously it's not hurting anything to have that hole there because again, it's just acting as a reinforced concrete and rebar header. But it does suck that I found that. And again, I can't remember if I put it in a video or not. I thought I did, but then I may have took it out because it's kind of embarrassing. But you can definitely tell that when I was putting this 2x up here, you go ahead and hit this wall. You can hear it's real dense and firm, but then you hit up in here and you can hear it's completely hollow. And then I went around the entire house and was looking for more spots where that may have happened. And I believe there's one, I think above right here. No, there's another air gap in this corner right here. And that one is a little bit smaller. So yes. Pouring concrete in a 4-inch block with rebar is definitely harder. Unfortunately, that day when we poured, we just didn't have enough guys. We had Brian, the ICF renter, and his brother out here. His brother was doing the consolidation below all of the windows, and then Brian was following Randall and making sure the concrete, you know, got up high enough. Unfortunately, all those spots that we just picked basically is as tall as Brian could go, which is 5 blocks high. So unfortunately, Brian wasn't tall enough to check blocks 6 and 7, or we would have found those. If I could go back and do it all over again, I would have been up there with the vibrator consolidating better for Randall, or we should have went around with a ladder and checked everything. But the reason why you keep seeing them, at least in those top corners of windows or doors, is because above every window and door, we've got 2 pieces of rebar going horizontally and then 2 going down vertically. And I guess when Randall poured that concrete, it just didn't get vibrated enough and fall into those gaps. But again, at least Randall was vibrating enough as Brian was going around all the windows and doors and saying, yeah, these first 5 rows are completely solid, we're good. But unfortunately, it looks like in row 6, both in that window and that window, we didn't get 100% consolidation. But again, is it the end of the world? No. Some people did mention, just say screw it, cut a 4-inch hole in the ICF and pour in some like crazy 5, 6, 7, 8,000 PSI like mortar or something, just to kind of fill that gap up. But again, is it really 100% needed? Because no, you can just pretend that that window is as big as that door opening or a garage door opening. So it's not going to hurt anything or fall apart, especially when we got some treated 2x10 window bucks. I would be a lot more scared if I hadn't used wood. If I had used regular like Fox 2-inch foam blocks or foam bucks, that probably would have scared me because that would just shatter and crumple like it was nothing. But at least when you have a 2x10 wood there, it's a hell of a lot stronger, and I don't think it's going to go anywhere. Will I mortar it? I don't know, but I just wanted to tell you guys that that is a huge crappy thing to have happen, but it is what it is. But anyway, back to the cable guy real quick. It was, at least it was super easy to drill through just 2 pieces of foam. And we got our cable line in, going down into here. So what I need help from you guys with right now actually is when we put the router and modem here in the office, I'm gonna need boosters. So I found a few companies out there that are top of the line. They look awesome. The problem is the boosters are wireless. So if we put a booster down in the basement where our entertainment is going to be, underneath of the front door over here, we'll put a booster there. Probably not going to be a problem because it's just going through the floor and we've got a big open stairwell here. What I need help with is I want internet out in the garage. Well, I can't put a booster out in the garage because the signal's not going to get through this concrete wall here. The signal may be able to get through this door, but I'm really thinking that I'm gonna want a booster that's actually hardwired. And I haven't been finding too many, so if anyone out there knows of an internet or a router setup that comes with boosters that are hardwired, then this piece of conduit right here, I can go ahead and use that for the hot and cold returns of the radiant, and then I can probably sneak in an Ethernet cord through there also that will go over to the office, plug into the router, and then we can have the booster like sit right here. And then not only will we have internet in the garage, but if we do start moving things out of the RV and like building that office space, for example, then that booster can go ahead and power the RV so that my laptop and our Amazon and Roku and whatever else that we have in there for our TVs and stuff, that can still get internet in there and they don't have to be hardwired anymore. But does anyone know of a setup that we can do where I can actually plug in a booster that will have an Ethernet cord that will go from router to booster and not be wireless? And then last update, the only thing I can tell you guys now is I got the house wired. Every room has lights. Every room has their outlets. The panel's pretty much all done. The only thing that we don't have yet, and hopefully we get it done, I've got 17 spots left on that 42 breaker panel. So we still have to do the island. So I'm probably gonna have to do dishwasher and maybe garbage disposal on their own, and then probably if I tap off of that, all of the outlets on the island. So that's at least 2 to 3 more breakers there. The AC units, the Mr. Cool units, do come up to 3 headers or head units per one condenser. So that will be a dual breaker. And those 3 heads will probably feed the master bedroom above this door here for pretty much the whole living area, and then right below us here for the basement. The garage AC mini split, that will be on the panel out in the garage, so that's no problem over there. So now we're at 5 breaker spots, that maximum that we're probably gonna take up. And then however many that we're gonna put in the basement. So we've got 12 spots left that we're probably gonna end up using for outlets in the bathroom, lights in the bathroom, the bedroom outlets and the bedroom lights, and then we'll probably do the rest of the lights and the outlets for the entire basement, so that'll be 2 more. So that brings us up to, I think, 12 breakers then being used, so we only have 5 spots left, which hopefully that will do it for whatever goes in the basement. So like hot water tank, radiant floor, boiler, pressure tank and everything for the well, that's gonna be at least 2 spots. So I don't know, it's gonna get a little iffy if we are or not going to run out of breaker spots, because I'm a little scared that we only have 17 left, and what I just named, that's cutting it really close. Hopefully it works out, or I'm just gonna have to, like I said before, like every light in the basement, just say screw it and wire it up all on one breaker, except for the bathroom, because that will be code that the bathroom has to be on 2 separate circuits for lights and outlets. And there you have it. So that's our updates, at least for right now. So let me know what you guys think about the wireless internet and everything. And then we're still gonna keep a close eye on the weather here, see if we can get a lift out here, and see if we can finally start putting on this freaking roof. All right, I know I asked everybody real quick on some suggestions on the wireless and the internet thing that we're doing, but I just went ahead and did a little test here that had crossed my mind. I grabbed the modem and our router, and I threw it out here in the garage, and went back into the house, and the laptop's still showing like 200 plus gigabytes a second or minute, whatever, download. So if we put a booster out here in the garage, we 100% should get everything in the laptop. The only problem is our TV must have a really weak ability to grab signal, and that router can do, I think, like 2.4 gigahertz and 5.0 gigahertz. Somehow we got into the conversation yesterday with the cable guy, and he said the 5 gigahertz, or the 5G it's called on the box, says that it puts out an extremely fast signal, but over very short distances. And the 2 gigahertz, or the 2G, is slower but goes much further. So the TV was not working on the 5G setting, but it seems to be working fine on the 2G. And then as soon as I went into the house with my cell phone instantly lost signal as soon as I closed the door on the 5G. But again, on the 2G, I can go anywhere in the house and even down into the basement. And the furthest point away in the house and the furthest point in the way in the basement, I go from like 3 bars down to 2 bars. So still enough to pick up signal. But if we go ahead and put the router in the central part of the house and maybe a booster down in the basement, and a booster that can at least do 2G and 5G, if we leave the booster on that window closest to that door plugged into that outlet, then the 2G should be able to take the signal from the router, get through the metal door, unlike the 5G, and it should blast me out here in the garage that I should have no problem. So I'm gonna put all this back in the house now. So I think we found our solution. So I think we're gonna go with Amazon's new company called Eero. It's E-E-R-O. They've got some new routers out there that are called like Wi-Fi 6 capable now. So those must be like just crazy fast, but I'm assuming you got to be like really close to them. And then, like I said, the boosters that they come with, just need to make sure that I'm getting the booster that has it all the way down to like a 2G capable. If that doesn't allow it with the Wi-Fi 6, I'll have to get the cheaper Wi-Fi 5 router, and then I think that is dual band, and the Wi-Fi 6 I think actually might be tri-band, now that I'm remembering that. That's the difference. So the 6 band I think has 2 5Gs and 1 2G, while the 5G has 1 5G and 1 2G, just like the router that I have now. So might as well go ahead and return the router that I pay every single month for from our cable supplier, and just go spend like $200 on a badass 5G or 6G router from the Amazon Eero. Get 2 boosters just for the heck of it, throw one down in the basement, throw the other one out here in the garage, and then I think we should be bulletproof actually on our Wi-Fi in and outside of the ICF house. And then bad news, sorry if anybody's squeamish, I might throw a picture up here real quick. If you guys notice that I'm limping, I just walked by this box over here and there was a piece of metal laying on it. Walked right by and just sliced about 1.5 inch, almost 2-inch gash all the way across the side of my knee. And yeah, that knee skin's a little flabby, so I couldn't hold it together. So got to get stitches, got a bandage and an ace wrap on it right now to hold that skin together, because it's not going to stay together. So that sucks, but at least I didn't have to go to the ER, at least for tonight, and get it stitched up. We'll see how it looks like in the morning. But the only thing that kind of sucks is I ordered the lift for tomorrow. Tomorrow it looks like there's absolutely no rain in the forecast, and if we take a look out in the backyard, the middle section here, you can see that it's pretty dry. Maybe on this bank it still looks wet, and obviously there's some puddles out here. But I think as long as we keep the lift weight in the 4 wheels right here in the center, we will get started on this backside here tomorrow on the garage roof. So hopefully bright and early in the morning, because this side I've already got the lower flashing trim on. So we'll see how much we can get knocked out tomorrow. And then we've got 3 days of thunder and lightning storms in the forecast, so I may have to return the lift. Let's see here, today's Wednesday, so have it all day Thursday. May have to return it Friday morning, but stick with us. I will try to hobble up on the roof and get as much done as I can tomorrow, but at least for tomorrow morning, we should go ahead and start to get at least one side of the garage done. All right, everybody, it's the next day. As you can see, the lift got delivered. This is kind of the setup I'm going with. I went ahead and already got the first starter shingles on, so I'm no roofing expert, but laid the starter shingles down. Obviously that sticky tar layer down towards the end. So this first layer, as it lays on, they get bonded together once the sun heats it up and melts the that little piece of like tar in there. I've already got the first 2 on though. Don't know how much recording I'm gonna do, because it's just impossible, because I need this hat on, I need long sleeves on. It's roofing in the middle of July. So I'm gonna cut my first shingle now back, so I'm starting on the 2nd row. I haven't gone all the way down, but I'm gonna go like in a diagonal pattern, so I can do like basically 4 rows at a time going down. And then the only thing I won't be able to do today, unless I get to the store or have Aaron go to the store, is when the shingles meet the house, I need these like little slivers of metal flashing. So you'll put a piece of flashing in against the house and under the shingle, and then you'll have a shingle effect going up with the shingles and the metal flashing. So I've got to do that, and just taking a look real quick on this unopened package, just trying to figure out how far back I cut each shingle. So obviously all your seams aren't lining up. So it looks like they want you to do a 6-inch, a 12-inch, and an 18-inch cut. And then you'll be back, and then a 6-inch cut. And then you'll be back to a full row. So I'll go ahead and cut 6 inches off and keep going up 6 inches from there until we're up to a little sliver piece. And that should get us enough rows to get started, and we'll head on down. All right, so like I said, starter shingle going up on the side, glue side out. Starter shingles going all the way down, glue side down, and then we've got our first 2 here. I am using a 5 nail pattern instead of a 6. For my area, 5 is acceptable. This leaves this shingle at 130 miles an hour. I think if you put 6 nails, you get to 150 miles an hour, but that's not required in my area, and it just saves time. And it's easy, because you can put a nail on the end, on the middle, and then split the difference, and 5 is just a little bit quicker and easier. Now, as for my new gun, I am not that thrilled with it. It's already jammed 3 times, taking at least 20-30 minutes out of my day. I don't know if it's the gun or the nails, but the heads on the nails are getting like kind of chipped off a little bit as it's punching out. So a little bit of the rounded head stays stuck in there. A piece of copper got stuck in there that hold the nails together. So yeah, that's gonna make for an extra long day, but we'll just see again how fast up we can go with this, and hopefully we can get at least this side done today. All right, first 6 rows have been started. Again, guys, I'm not a shingle expert. I'm just going off of the directions. So full piece, and then 6 inches back till all the way you just have a little 6-inch sliver. So now we can go ahead and just run all the way down. And as you can see, the biggest thing about a shingle is just to make sure that you're hitting your nailing lines. So for example, you hit kind of down here, you're darn near hitting in the middle. So you hit on this like first glue line as opposed to the second one. You hit on that first glue line, you're pretty much right in the middle of that 1.5-inch plastic strip that they want you to be in. And then as you can see, by hitting a nail right there, you're also hitting this one down here. So all of these shingles are locked in one piece together. If I were to put a nail right here, then I'm obviously not hitting the shingle below it, and they're not all getting locked down together. So as long as you follow that important step right there and that important step right there, you should be pretty much good to go ahead down and finish your roof. All right, so we're trekking along here, and I don't know, I don't understand how you can't fall on layout. None of these starter shingles were cut, and as you can see, pretty much every one of them has a 6-inch overlay. And they have been moving around a little bit, but at this moment right here, you can see I have about a 6-inch overlay. I put this next shingle on, and it hit right where a starter shingle had ended and where one of the actual shingles had ended. So I don't know if that's in the direction that will happen when you have such a long distance going down with starter shingles, but luckily I had this little 6-inch piece left over from where I cut it off on the end there. But basically I just had to like tap in a piece of flashing almost. So now this next shingle will have a 6-inch overlay here. It will fall right in the middle here, and then you'll have another way over there. That's probably not the greatest of great, because usually, as you can see, they want a 6-inch overlay. And if this shingle is going to end right here, then that only gives you 3 inches on this shingle and 3 inches on this shingle. But luckily it's only the starter row, and that's only where a starter row is going to be. Obviously you're gonna have a 6-inch overlay for all of these shingles going up here, so it shouldn't be a problem. But just something I noticed, just a quick easy fix. Yes, I should have probably cut another 3 inches over and made that a little bit wider, but for the starter, it shouldn't be too much of a problem. Fingers crossed. All right, everybody, so it's getting to be afternoon. I have got pretty much halfway done, so we're not doing too bad on time, I don't think, especially doing it by yourself and you're up and down a few times. I'm putting a couple bundles up here now on this board so it can support the weight. This bucket's 500 pounds, so I'm nowhere near 250, and I know this plus 2 bundles, I think each bundle's like 73 pounds a piece. This is probably another 80 pounds. We're nowhere near 500, at least with that. So I could probably do at least 3, maybe even 4 bundles up on here at a time. But again, I've reached the point where I'm kind of trekking up the wall now. So that first shingle there is kind of laid down that way and going up the wall there. So hopefully when I put my siding on there, it'll just sit here. We could probably caulk under there, or just really paint and caulk the bottom of the LP where I'm going to cut that and put the first board up there. But it's not going to be much, because this overhang here, as that comes straight in, we're probably only going to have a piece of board and batten no more than that tall. So maybe I'll put a flashing strip under there too, but should work. I just went ahead and used some nails right into the Fox blocks, or into the Nudura up here. And as far as I know, is if you use a ring shank nail, you can ring shank nails into ICF. I didn't know that. I thought you could only use coarse like drywall screws, or coated outdoor like deck coarse screws. But it'll hold. It's not going anywhere. If I need to screw on the board and batten, we will, but we'll flash that out. I think it looks pretty nice like that. Like I said, the only thing I have to do is go and pick up that like flashing, it's like flashing step trim. They're basically just like 8 to 10 inches long, probably 4 by 4 in an L shape, and you just stick that under each
shingle here, or the first one will be on top, and then the next shingle that goes over top of it, it'll flash over it, and we'll go all the way up through there. So we got to go get that now, so I can basically not having to keep go back and forth. And it's a good time with the heat right now. Right about 4 o'clock, this tree provides almost 100% shade. So as you can see, we got a little like 10% of the roof shaded right now. So once that climbs up that way, it'll be a lot easier to stay in the shade and do this until probably 9:30 at night, till the sun goes down, really. So I'm gonna take my afternoon siesta, go pick up those pieces, and get some drink in me, maybe some food, and then we'll get started when I get back. All right, back from the store. Hopefully I've got enough. Unfortunately, they didn't have many pieces. Erin is out and about right now, so hopefully she can stop by another Home Depot and see if they have more. But this is the step flashing that I'm talking about. I went with aluminum. They did have galvanized steel in black, but I would rather have aluminum. Galvanized steel probably will last a really long time, but I don't think as long as aluminum. But we'll get our first one in there, and then these will just go with each and every shingle as you go on up. And as you can see, pretty much all the shingles that I've put up there now are covered by the shade. So should be a little bit more enjoyable to get up in there and start working now. But again, around 4:30, I think, that's pretty much all shaded. So we should be good to go for the rest of the day and not be too crazy hot or get sunburnt. And then as for an update on my knee, I did not go and get stitches. The driver dropped the lift off around 8 o'clock this morning, and he was supposed to be here between 10 and 11. So fortunately, what I ended up doing is just, again, I had to keep that skin together on my knee, and it is on the side over here. So as you can see, you got a little bit more room to bend over here, as opposed that if I was cut straight across the knee, that would just be opening and closing like crazy. But fortunately for me, I had some staples laying around, so just cleaned it up, put 4 staples in there, and seems to be holding together fine. It's not tearing or pulling away, but I'm also not doing full bend with my knee. I'm kind of walking around a little bit, still peg-legged, but I'm going to wrap this back up just to keep the dirt out of it, and let's get finished on this roof. All right, another little break here. We're getting close. Once I feather in that corner in over there, it looks like we'll be about 3/4 of the way done once I go all the way across. So still early in the day, still got plenty hours of sunlight left, so I think we're definitely going to finish this side up no problem. Then we'll probably transition over to the front of the house and put on the flashing, the trim piece for the beginning edge, and then I think that'll be good. The only thing I just found out though, if you look at the package or read the directions, it says that the Atlas shingles actually only need 4 nails, and they get rated at 130 miles an hour. So maybe with my 5, I get 150, I don't know. But 1 more nail isn't gonna hurt anything, so maybe a little bit of a waste of money, but I don't think they were that expensive anyway. It was like 40 bucks or something for over 7,000 nails, so I'm not gonna cry about a few nails. But I'm gonna get back up here and keep plugging away. Oh, well, I got it done. It is 9:50 when I started cleaning up, and I got the whole east side of the garage done. So I want to say that took about 12 hours with an hour or so going into town to Home Depot to pick up the step flashing, and I had dinner. So I tried to make it quick, but probably at least 10 hours or so to do that by myself. Only made one mistake. The shingles against the house, underneath of the overhang of the house, I didn't put a starter row. I put a starter row on the underhang, on that little underhang that goes down and then over back under the house, but I didn't put it up there. It should be fine since the shingles are going all the way in and there's step flashing that I think they're 4x4s. So that should be enough. Not to mention, I've noticed all the dirt collecting in there. I don't think rain really gets up in there because that's a 2-foot overhang from the house to the garage. So hindsight 2020, 2 foot's probably too much, because I think leaves and sticks and debris and moss and mold and everything are just gonna grow up in there, because when it rains straight down, there's 2 feet of overhang that roof's not gonna be touched. So that sucks that it's probably too much. Probably should have done more like a 1-foot overhang, which I still could technically, because there's nothing underneath of there. This T11, like right here, it's not up and under there yet. So I could just walk down with my saw and cut a foot off, but then I'd have to knock all the nails off and re-put the 2x6 back up there. So we'll see what I do. But I'm gonna end this video here, and I will get some drone footage for you guys in the morning. But just know that drone footage is gonna end, and then we're gonna cut to the outro. So I'm gonna wrap it up here. So I'm finally happy to get 1/4 of the roof on, even though that's only like 750 square feet. The house is obviously much bigger than that, but I'll just consider it in terms of paneling. That's like 1/4, even though, crap, we still have to put the porches on. That takes a lot more square footage that we have to add in. So, but like I said, at least I'm happy that I got one side of the garage done. And if I can get another 10 hours with the lift tomorrow maybe, or later this week, because again, the forecast is showing some lightning and thunder. We'll see what I can get done if I can get that lift back out here. But hope you guys enjoyed. If everyone's rooting for us to get the roof on and get finally buttoned up, especially getting a lot of stuff done before winter, thank you. We are getting it done. It's just very tiring, and my feet are killing me. I bet I have blisters the size of quarters. So I'm gonna head in now. Again, I'm gonna wrap it up here. If you guys liked the video, please hit that thumbs up button. It really helps our channel out. Subscribe if you're not already, and hit us up on Neck of the Woods on Instagram, NeckofTheWoods 2020, if you guys need to personal message us for anything. Till then, we'll see you guys next time.